thing we're going to take a look at is finishing the armbar. I've been to a whole lot of grappling competitions recently and seen a lot of people get to armbar positions, but they're having trouble finishing it. I've watched a lot of MMA fights recently where armbars are available and they go for it and they lose it, and in an effort to get the armbar they actually lose their position as well. And they're just missing one detail, and that one detail can be corrected. First things first, the armbar relies on breaking the elbow through the direction that it's not supposed to go, so hyperextending that joint. That's a hinge joint. It just opens and closes. What we're trying to do is open it further than it wants to go. All right? So in order to do that, one thing that I keep seeing a lot is that guys, when they get their arm, they rotate the arm. Well, now, ideally, I would be lifting at this angle, but I see a lot of guys still lifting at this angle. So what happens is that arm ends up going there and they lose it because the guy rolls out. Okay? Or alternatively, the palm goes down, and so ideally they should be pushing from this angle, but instead they push here, and so the guy is able to swim move out and just basically limp on. So how do we correct that? Well, I've gotten into an armbar position, and when I go out and palm goes up, if the palm is up, normally I'm okay, because I have enough surface area with my hips to be able to break the elbow. I basically just want to be going against the very bend of his elbow. If you put your finger right in the middle of that joint, that's the direction I want to be going away from. Okay, so if his palm is up, that's fine, because I just want to go out that direction. So my opponent gets his palm up, I want to be able to go out. I feel right there that it's kind of that angle. That's the direction I take my hips and get the armbar. Very, very good way to get it. Common mistake though is people get here and in an effort they're squeezing, or they just have this, and like a lot of gi players that get used to the friction of the gi get here. Well, when you're all sweaty, this happens, and so now I'm lifting it but I'm not really getting it. Meanwhile, my opponent is stacking me and I'm in all kinds of trouble. So a common way that I've come up with to kind of help the kids class, really, but it really has helped me tremendously, is I grab their thumb. If I can grab their thumb and the meaty part of their hand and go thumbs up, I've got the armbar. From there, I know exactly which direction, just straight up. If his thumb is up, that means his elbow is down. Okay? So no matter what position I'm in, I'm sitting here fighting, and no matter how you break this, when you go out, if you feel like you're not in the right position, grab their thumb, or if they're trying to rotate their hand one way or another, grab their thumb and point it toward the ceiling. Now, you've got an immediate reaction. So again, when a guy's trying to extend the arm, a common escape that people will go for is if they feel like their arm's getting extended, they'll point their thumb around at your hip and they'll roll out and go out from underneath the armbar. So a way to prevent that, when you're going back for the armbar, make sure you have a good hold of their thumb and point it up directly away from you, which belly down armbar will obviously be at the floor. In a traditional armbar that you would land like from the mount, it's going to be directly at the ceiling. If their thumb is up, their elbow is down, which means you can go ahead and get the submission.